I'm Reginald Gickington, and you can call me Reggie, and today I'll be continuing a painting journey through the miniatures of Senjutsu by Sword Stone Games. Having just finished the warrior, we'll now move on to the student, a fiery and young warrior eager to prove himself. To reflect his personality, I decided to give him a very bright and hot color scheme, one that's a reference I suspect will be easy to catch. To start, we're going to use Ghost Gray and Bugman's Glow. The skin gets Bugman's Glow, while the robes, as a whole, get Ghost Gray. Now, he's not actually going to have white robes, but some colors go on others better. As we saw last time, yellow doesn't go on black well, but it does on red or orange, so that's why we're taking this step now. Also, do his hand wraps in white at this time. With that done, we're going to make the robes the real intended color. We're using Hot Orange and Macragge Blue, the former going all over the robes, while the latter is used on the trim and the belt and the scabbard of the sword. Orange can be quite a translucent color, so going with white initially helps avoid having to paint several layers. We're going to use Steel Legion Drab applied to the base, the sandals, Geta, and the flask on his hip. Next comes Mechanicus Standard Gray applied to the hair and the hilt of the sword. Now we're going to do some washing, using black and flesh wash. What we're doing is flesh washing the skin and black washing the hair twice and scabbard once. And then we're going to mix the two to make a brown wash. You can alternatively use a dedicated brown wash for this next step, though the one I have is a rather nasty glossy color that I don't quite like, so I prefer to mix my own, using 3 drops of flesh wash for each drop of black wash. This color is then applied all over the orange parts along with the white hand wraps. As is often the case after washing, we need to return the vibrancy, so we're going to use Hot Orange, Macragge Blue, and Altdorf Guard Blue to highlight the orange and blue elements. Of note, don't touch the scabbard. We want that to stay the dark blue that it currently is so that it doesn't look like the same material as the belt it's attached to. And as you can see, that's made a huge difference. Next up comes Wildwood, which we're going to apply to the hip flask, sandals, and floorboards. Also, the hilt of the sword gets this treatment, carefully as to avoid the white. To highlight the skin, we're going to use Cadian Flesh Tone, focusing on the muscles and brightening them while avoiding the recesses. Unfortunately, this has brightened him up just a bit too much, so now we're going to use Bugman's Glow as a transition between the recesses and the flat surfaces to bring things back down a little bit. Using a very fine-tipped brush, we're going to use Black Templar to detail some elements of the face. The eyebrows are detailed onto the mini, where it's hard for me to tell at this scale whether or not the facial hair is part of the mini or not. Nonetheless, I elect to give him a basic goatee by painting the entire chin black, then going back with Bugman's Glow to carve out parts of the black. The result is the illusion of a very fine black line where facial hair should be. Using Lead Belcher, we're going to hit the pommel and tsuba of the katana, while Steel Legion Drab is dry brushed on the wood board of the base and applied to the straps holding the hip flask. I attempt something a little bold here that you may or may not like the results of. I try to give him eyes, which are very small at this scale. I start by painting an Altdorf blue dot at the center of each eye, before painting one ghost gray dot on either side of each eye. This, at such a small scale, gives the illusion of blue eyes, blue having been elected to complement his robes, though brown perhaps being more traditionally common. It's up to you whether or not you want to replicate this particularly difficult step. Not doing so gives him a sense of meditative calmness, with his eyes being shut. To finish, we're using Jokero Orange on the directional arrow on his base. And that concludes the student with his fiery orange robes. I think he turned out great and really demonstrates some burning zeal and young spirit. Have fun painting your Senjutsu miniatures, and feel free to tag me on Instagram @ReggieKick to show me how yours turn out. Whether you follow my colors or branch out on your own, I'd love to see them either way. Links to my affiliated socials can be found in the description. Feel free to subscribe or like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon with another painting tutorial.